I went to the Chantapunta region in Ecuador with Timmy Global Health last year. And so that was a trip that did medical clinics in a pretty remote jungle location. First of all, the jungle, it was definitely very, being completely surrounded by nature was a really cool experience. It was, you know, you look everywhere and there are trees and there are plants, and definitely a very isolated area with people who are 2 hours away from a city with absolutely no transportation. That was a really eye-opening experience. I think just noting the lack of basic healthcare infrastructure within a country that actually has free healthcare available for its people, but not at all accessible to most of the people, especially living in poverty. So I think that was the biggest eye-opener, is that these locations are so remote, and the idea that a government could, it's not feasible for the Ecuadorian government to really get quality healthcare to these areas right now, because even some of the bigger cities don't have the quality care that's needed. I think the biggest thing about ASB, both on the student end and on the leader end, is the idea of service learning and how what we're learning now is impacting our futures and what we're interested in studying and what types of leaders we want to elect as our representatives in politics, and what kind of people we want to be and the issues that we want to fight for. And so we are very cognizant of the idea that, you know, we're not going to change a country's healthcare in a week, but training future leaders to understand some of the complexities of international issues, of social justice issues, I think you can walk away with a much better understanding of how layered these problems are, and how it takes really ethical and focused leadership in order to combat some of those problems. I think I realized how much work goes into making these trips an awesome opportunity for students. Last year, it was very much, okay, cool, I signed up to go on a trip, and X number of weeks later, here I am, and wow, it's very real now. But you start to see how much thought goes into the curriculum and the reflection activities and the learning part of it that goes along with the service. So I really enjoyed that.